This is not a motivational story. This is a case file 02. Mike is 39 years old. He earns $118,000 a year. He has been earning above six figures since he was 33. In the last 6 years, Mike has brought home approximately $642,000 in gross income. His current net worth is $41,000. Stop for a moment. $642,000 moved through his financial system. $41,000 remained. That is a wealth conversion rate of 6.3% across 6 years of peak earning. The rest did not disappear in a crisis. There was no divorce, no medical emergency, no catastrophic market event. It dissolved quietly into the cost of living a six-figure life. That is not bad luck. That is a broken operating system wearing an expensive suit. In this file, I am going to walk you through Mike's financial architecture exactly as I found it. I am going to show you the single diagnostic that changed everything he thought he understood about earning. And I am going to show you what happened when he stopped measuring his income and started measuring his conversion rate. This is not a story about earning more. It is about keeping the right percentage of what you already earn. Most six-figure professionals will watch this and recognize themselves. That recognition is the beginning of the audit. Let's open the file. Mike is a regional vice president of sales at a mid-sized SaaS company headquartered in Austin, Texas. He works remotely from Alpharetta, Georgia, a suburb of Atlanta where the schools are good, the neighborhoods are clean, and the cost of looking successful runs approximately 14% higher than the national average. He and his wife Sarah have one daughter, age 7. They own a 3-bedroom home purchased in 2020. The mortgage is $2,160 a month. Mike drives a leased BMW 3 Series, $640 a month. Sarah drives a paid-off Honda Pilot they bought in 2021, which felt financially responsible at the time. Mike's take-home after federal and state taxes, health insurance, and his company's mandatory 401k contribution, 3% with a 4% employer match, is approximately $6,800 per month. On paper, this is a household operating at a comfortable surplus. In execution, Mike finishes most months with $300 to $700 remaining. Not overdrawn, not in default, not in any category that would qualify as a financial emergency, just thin. He and Sarah do not fight about money. They have an informal agreement. She manages the household budget, he manages the investment accounts. Neither of them has looked at those investment accounts together in 11 months. That is not a marriage problem. That is a system problem. That is the trap. Here is what I found when I ran the diagnostic. Mike has received 5 salary increases since his 33rd birthday. Combined, those increases added $41,000 to his annual income. His net worth has grown by approximately $8,000 in the same period. Let that ratio settle. $41,000 in additional annual income. $8,000 in additional net worth over 6 years. That is a wealth conversion rate of 3.2% on the delta alone. Every raise Mike received was processed by the same invisible machine. Year 1. The raise absorbed a lease upgrade. The logic was sound. He was now client-facing at the VP level, and presentation mattered. Year 2. The raise funded a kitchen and master bath renovation financed at 11.9% through a Green Sky home improvement loan. Year 3. The raise increased restaurant spending, travel frequency, and a country club social membership costing $3,200 annually. None of these decisions were reckless. Each one felt earned. Assembled, they constructed a spending architecture that converted nearly 94% of every dollar Mike earned into consumption. 6% remained, 6% compounded, 6% built anything. Charlie Munger said it without apology. I have nothing to add. Mike had nothing to keep. The system was working exactly as designed. The design was wrong. Here is the number I gave Mike. 2.1. That is his wealth conversion rate. The percentage of his gross annual income that converted into net worth growth over the previous 12 months. $2 out of every 100 he earned was building a position. $98 were funding a lifestyle. The wealth conversion rate is not a standard financial metric. You will not find it in a Fidelity report or a Chase banking summary. It is a diagnostic tool. The formula is simple. Take your net worth at the end of the year, subtract your net worth at the beginning, divide by your gross annual income, multiply by 100. That percentage is your WCR. For a 39-year-old earning six figures, the target is 15%. Not because 15% is a law, because 15% of $118,000 is $17,700 per year compounding forward. Over 20 years at 7%, consistent with the S&P 500's long-run historical average, that becomes $736,000. Mike's current trajectory produces $49,000 over the same period. The gap between those two numbers is not a market problem. It is a conversion problem. Mike did not need a raise. He needed a different ratio. Before we continue, run that calculation on yourself. Take the amount your net worth changed over the last 12 months, divide it by your gross annual income, and compare the result to 15%. Then drop one comment, above 15, below 15, or not calculated yet. No explanation is necessary. That single number tells you whether your income is building wealth or simply passing through your hands. And if Mike's situation feels familiar, comment case file. That tells me these real-world financial audits are helping you see the system behind your own numbers. Now let's return to Mike's file, because the number only became real when he placed it in front of Sarah. Mike showed Sarah the WCR calculation on a Sunday evening in October. He had spent 3 days running their numbers across 6 years of Chase statements, their Fidelity 401k portal, and a Robinhood account he had opened in 2021 and not checked since the correction of early 2022. He printed one page, 3 columns: year, income, net worth change. The numbers did not require interpretation. Sarah looked at the page for 90 seconds. She said, "That cannot be right." It was right. The conversation that followed was not a fight. It was a reckoning. Sarah had believed they were building something, not because the evidence supported that belief, but because Mike earned 6 figures, and 6 figures had always meant building something. The income had done its job. It had maintained the illusion of financial progress while their actual position moved sideways. Mike had believed the same thing. Income is not wealth. Income is a rate. Wealth is a position. You can earn at a high rate and build no position. Most 6-figure households are doing exactly that. The 2023 Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances found that the median net worth of American households earning between $100,000 and $150,000 annually was $218,000. Mike, at 39 with 6 years of 6-figure earnings, held $41,000. He was not unlucky. He was running the wrong metric. Think about that. Mike did not restructure his entire financial life in November. That would be a different kind of story, the kind that requires a personality type that does not exist at scale. What Mike did was change one number. He set his target WCR at 15%. That meant converting $17,700 of his gross income into net worth this year. Not a budget overhaul, not a lifestyle dismantling. A single output target, measured monthly, tracked with the same rigor he applied to his sales pipeline at work. He opened a Schwab brokerage account, separate from the Fidelity 401k, separate from the Robinhood account he has now closed. He named it 2 words: conversion engine. He set an automatic transfer of $1,475 on the 1st of every month. Then he made one rule with Sarah. Every discretionary purchase above $400 required a 24-hour delay and a WCR check, not a prohibition. A pause. Month 1 closed at $1,475. Nothing dramatic. Then the BMW lease came up for renewal in December. He did not renew it. He purchased a 3-year-old Lexus IS for $26,000 in cash from a CD he had not touched in 2 years. The monthly cash flow shifted by $640 immediately. That $640 moved straight to the conversion engine. That is what a system decision looks like, not inspiration, architecture. Let me give you the 12-month result. Mike's WCR for the year following that Sunday evening, 11.4%, not 15, but 11.4 is not 2.1. 11.4 means $13,452 built a position this year. Real dollars in a Schwab brokerage account earning market returns, not dissolved into a lease payment or a renovation financed at 11.9%. He did not reach 15% because the green sky balance of $18,300 remained, and Mike made the decision to service that debt aggressively rather than let it compound against him at 11.9%. That was the right call. 15% remains the destination. He is moving toward it. Direction matters more than distance in year 1. I want to ask you something directly. You are watching this because some version of Mike's file felt familiar. The income that should have built something by now. The net worth number that does not match the effort. The quiet suspicion that the system you are running is not working in your favor. If that is you, drop the words case file in the comments right now. It tells me to bring you more diagnostic content exactly like this. Every comment gets read. Everyone. And if you know your WCR, or you just ran it in your head while watching, drop that number too. 1 figure. That is all. Here is what year 2 looks like. The green sky balance will be cleared by March, 7 months ahead of the original payoff schedule. When that payment disappears, $1,140 per month frees up. Mike has already designated it. $800 goes to the conversion engine. $340 increases the family travel budget, a deliberate decision made with Sarah, not a compromise, an agreement. The conversion engine is now deployed in a 3-fund Schwab portfolio: the Schwab Total Stock Market Index Fund for broad domestic exposure, the Schwab International Index Fund for global diversification, and a short-duration bond allocation as a stability buffer. Auto Invest runs on the 1st and 15th of every month. By the end of year 2, Mike's projected WCR reaches 14.8%, not because his income increased, because his conversion architecture changed. He still earns $118,000. He still lives in Alpharetta. The output of his financial system looks fundamentally different. His net worth at end of year 2 is projected at $68,000, an increase of $27,000 in 24 months. For context, his net worth grew $8,000 across the prior 6 years. The variable that changed was not income, market conditions, or discipline. The variable was measurement. Mike started measuring the right number. Wealth conversion rate is not a motivational concept. It is an engineering specification. You cannot hit a target you have never set. He said it. That is the whole system. Here's the thing. Mike is not exceptional. He did not discover a loophole, a tax shelter, or a market timing strategy. He discovered the gap between what he earned and what he kept, and decided that gap was no longer acceptable. The wealth conversion rate is the single diagnostic that 6-figure earners never run. Not because they cannot, because no one has told them to measure it. Every financial advisor, every budgeting app, every retirement calculator is built around income. None of them are built around conversion. Income tells you how fast money enters the system. Conversion tells you how much of it stays. At 2.1%, Mike was running a machine that consumed 98 cents of every dollar he earned. At 14.8%, the machine keeps 15 cents and deploys it forward. That shift does not require a personality transplant. It requires one calculation, one account, and one agreement. If you are in your late 30s or 40s, earning a reasonable income, and your net worth does not match the effort, run your WCR right now. What you find will be uncomfortable or confirming. Either way, it is the most valuable number you will see today. And if you want the exact system I use to organize my money, check out the Trip to Wealth Google Sheet below this video. If this case file helped you see your own financial profile differently, drop the words case file in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. I appreciate your support. Until next time, built with intention. See you in the next one.